The president's son, Hunter Biden, is having a press conference.
Any legitimate questions Chairman Comer and the House Oversight Committee may have for me. I'm here today to make sure that the House Committee's illegitimate investigations of my family do not proceed on distortions, manipulated evidence, and lies. And I'm here today to acknowledge that I've made mistakes in my life and wasted opportunities and privileges I was afforded. For that, I'm responsible. For that, I'm accountable. And for that, I'm making amends. But I'm also here today to correct how the MAGA right has portrayed me for their political purposes. I am first and foremost a son, a father, a brother, and a husband from a loving and supportive family. I'm proud to have earned degrees from Georgetown University and Yale Law School. I'm proud of my legal career and business career. I'm proud of my time serving on a dozen different boards of directors. And I'm proud of my efforts to forge global business relationships. For 6 years, MAGA Republicans, including members of House committees who are in a closed-door session right now, have impugned my character, invaded my privacy, attacked my wife, my children, my family, and my friends. They have ridiculed my struggle with addiction, they have belittled my recovery, and they have tried to dehumanize me, all to embarrass and damage my father, who has devoted his entire public life to service. For 6 years, I have been the target of the unrelenting Trump attack machine, shouting, "Where's Hunter?" Well, here's my answer. I am here. Let me state as clearly as I can. My father was not financially involved in my business, not as a practicing lawyer, not as a board member of Burisma, not in my partnership with a Chinese private businessman, not in my investments at home nor abroad, and certainly not as an artist. During my battle with addiction, my parents were there for me. They literally saved my life. They helped me in ways that I will never be able to repay. And of course, they would never expect me to. And in the depths of my addiction, I was extremely irresponsible with my finances. But to suggest that is grounds for an impeachment inquiry is beyond the absurd. It's shameless. There is no evidence to support the allegations that my father was financially involved in my business because it did not happen. James Comer, Jim Jordan, Jason Smith, and their colleagues have distorted the facts by cherry-picking lines from a bank statement, manipulating texts I sent, editing the testimony of my friends and former business partners, and misstating personal information that was stolen from me. There is no fairness or decency in what these Republicans are doing. They have lied over and over about every aspect of my personal and professional life. So much so that their lies have become the false facts believed by too many people. No matter how many times it is debunked, they continue to insist that my father's support of Ukraine against Russia is the result of a non-existent bribe. They displayed naked photos of me during an oversight hearing. And they have taken the light of my dad's love, for me, and presented it as darkness. They have no shame. These same committee chairmen have engaged in unprecedented political interference in what would have already been a 5-year investigation of me. Yet, here I am, Mr. Chairman, taking up your offer when you said we can bring these people in for depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose. Well, I've chosen. I am here to testify at a public hearing today to answer any of the committee's legitimate questions. Republicans do not want an open process where Americans can see their tactics, expose their baseless inquiry, or hear what I have to say. What are they afraid of? I'm here. I'm ready.
Hunter, are you ready to go across?
Why not testify now, sir? Why not testify now? Why did you get if your father was not involved?
All right, so we just heard from Hunter Biden there, obviously not taking any questions. He is actually sort of due to or was expected to testify in front of a committee today, a congressional committee looking into the impeachment inquiry into President Biden. Obviously, he's not going to do that. Hunter Biden had said he'd be willing to provide testimony as long as it was public, but this is a closed-door inquiry, so that wasn't an option. But as you heard him essentially defending himself, defending his case, saying that his father had absolutely nothing to do with his businesses ever. And though he didn't really say this about his tax situation, he didn't outright say, I wasn't avoiding paying taxes, but he said, listen, I was deeply addicted to drugs, and during that period of time, I was very irresponsible with my finances. So perhaps that's a part of what his defense will be when he has to face a judge on those matters.
Well, the point that I think that he made, which is I think the one that a lot of people are making, is there are these allegations that Republicans are making. They're opening up an impeachment inquiry and going to vote on an impeachment inquiry into the president of the United States. I think the American people are like, so let's be transparent about it. Let him testify in front of the American people and see what he has to say. The fact that Republicans, and many of them have gone on to television to try to explain why they don't want him to testify in public, but it sort of rings false. If you are making all these allegations and he's willing to come before you and answer those questions, why not let the entire world see what he has to say?
He's saying, I have nothing to hide.
I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they are the ones who are perhaps worried that they may not be able to take out of context the things that he says if he's doing it in front of cameras.
Yeah. So we should actually remind people, too, that the House is due to have a vote today.
Yeah, that's right.
To actually
before they go on vacation.
Right, to formalize the impeachment inquiry. Because the investigation that has been going on now for a year or so is actually not a formalized procedure. One of the things that they've been criticized for is pursuing this investigation without actually having a formalized vote. And so they're finally getting around to it now, even though thus far they haven't uncovered any evidence to indicate that the president was involved in any of this.
You even started to see it on some conservative news outlets, on Fox News, for example. Oftentimes Republicans get up there and they say, but yeah, okay, sounds great, but where's the proof? And Republicans are unable to provide it. Anyway, we have Nicole Killian on the Hill. She's there covering all of this. We'll probably speak to her in the next couple of hours, so stick around for that.